Thanks for coming this morning to our second in our series of the Brigham City Memorial Tournament Spring Clinic. Today is sponsored by Selkirk. We have a bunch of Selkirk items here. You can demo their paddles. We want to thank them for being a major sponsor for multiple years here. They've really helped pickleball in Brigham City. Today we are going to go over 4 topics. Like we've done before, we'll have 4 stations. You get to work with 4 different instructors. On this court, we're going to work on dinking with intention. So when you can control the point when you're at the kitchen line. On this court here, number 3, will be Scott Clayson working on cross-court dinking, strategies and skills, how you become a better cross-court dinker. On court 6, Kale will be working on mid-court reset of points. When you get in trouble, you're in the mid-court, how you reset it. And then we'll also have Molly over here on court 8 working on overheads, strategies on how to hit an overhead, body positioning, and how it doesn't have to necessarily be a hard hit ball, but a smartly placed ball. So those will be our 4 topics. We'll have everybody split up into small groups, and we'll go from court to court working with each person. It'll be about 15 minutes per group, and we'll go around. So it should take about an hour and 15 minutes. All right, take 2.
I got it.
This to me in pickleball is the most important thing as far as for when you're up at the net. So many times you have a point where you want it to go a certain way, and all of a sudden the ball gets smashed at you, or you're lunging for a ball, or someone has lobbed you, and you're frustrated like, oh, I thought I was in that point, I thought I controlled that point, and before you know it, it was over because they did something before you did something. So we're going to dink with intention. You're going to learn to be able to make the point go the way you want to. And so part of that is you can't dink a ball aggressively if you're not in a good position, if the ball's not at the right height. So if you're lunging for a ball, I'm probably not going to hit a good dink as I'm doing this. Or if I'm short hopping a ball and I'm catching it right here, it's going to be really hard for me to dink a ball aggressively to them. So we're going to talk about getting your body in the right place. And then we're also going to talk about where I want to place that ball. So let's line up here for a second. And yeah, we'll get 1 on 2 and 2. So you 2 can line up there. So have a plan in mind. So when I'm dinking, and so when you're warming up, I want to practice dinking forehand and then backhand. So if I want to hit to his backhand, my first shot, so I'll just practice. When I'm hitting it, I'm not, so that ball right there is going to be a ball that would be a problem ball. So that's why you want to focus on, because that ball is about right here. I guarantee somebody's going to speed that up on you. So when I'm warming up dinking, I'm trying to make this land 3 or 4 feet into the kitchen, just getting that touch of saying, can he attack that ball? If I put the ball right there, if he attacks it, it's not going to be a good attack ball. So you want to have your dinking ability not to be that right there, because you could attack that ball on it. You want to be able to, as you're warming up, that ball should clear the net by a foot, but it should land 2 to 3 feet into the kitchen. So that's the first intention, is making sure, go ahead and hit a couple of those, making sure you're hitting a ball that's not attackable. Because if they're attacking it, that's when the point goes wrong. So drilling, when you guys come out and drill, you should drill, from backhand to forehand, and those are really good shots, about that high. So that's the first thing we want to talk about, is dinking with intention. The second thing is, when you're playing against someone, you want to find out what their weakness is. Maybe it's their backhand, maybe it's their forehand. There's a lot of players that actually don't like balls hit between their legs. I play with a lot of people, they actually like a ball here, and they're going to dink it very aggressively cross court. So if you give them balls wide, they end up putting you in trouble. So I talk to my partner and say, let's hit everything between their knees, because then they can't hit hard angles on it. So when you're developing your strategy from match to match, from person to person, it's going to be different. You need to be able to say, okay, I think our weakest spot for this team is going to try to hit to that backhand corner. So you and I are going to work together. Let's play a point. If you want to put that ball down, we're going to try to hit. So if we just hit to that corner, they might slide over. So I might start right here and keep you over to the side, but then we know we're going to try to come to this corner. So you go to your line the whole way, and we're just going to keep dinking where she can't attack it and into that corner as much as we can. So we're going to try to come way over there. And if the middle person helps too much, we give him 1 ball that goes real wide. I like how you guys are keeping, that ball's a little high there. We're in trouble. He could have attacked that one. Let's go see how you had to short hop it there. That's what happened. So we got off of our strategy there. We were trying to hit to the backhand corner. We got 4 in a row to his forehand, and he ended up with that. So dinking with intention is to say, hey, our weak spot is probably not going to be someone's forehand. Most of the time, we don't want to be hitting dinks to forehands, because eventually, either 1, they're going to whack it with their forehand, 2, they're going to lob it over us. Very rarely do you see a lob from a backhand. So if I'm in trouble, I want to dink to someone's backhand. They're not going to do nearly as much to me as if I give them a forehand. They're going to forehand is where we all feel like we can do a little bit more. So if you're in trouble, dink with intention to a backhand. Another really strategy I really enjoy with dinking is to dink to the middle of the court. So if we do this, and try to dink back to me for right now, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I dink the ball, so I want you both to be going for it. So this one's more her forehand, this one's more his backhand. But now if I kind of put balls where they have to communicate, I'll hit 5 and 6 balls in a row. See, that's exactly what I want to have happen. 5 and 6 balls in a row where the middle line is, typically the forehand has the ball, but if I can hit it about 4 inches to the midline of your backhand, you both think, oh, is this mine, is this not mine? If they're not communicating, dinking to the middle is a safe shot. It's the lowest part of the net, and you make them have to communicate. And now I might do 3 or 4 dinks there, and then I shoot one off to the side, and then I put another one back in the middle, and is this guy covering, is this person coming back? And so dinking with intention, this is an easy dink all day long right there, and that often happens because you feel that other person coming over and you short hop. And so learn to dink with a place you want to put it. And again, that's my favorite. If you watch me play a lot of matches, I've got a ton of balls right there. Yes, the backhand corner, we all understand that one, but not the shot that's under you. So let's drill for a minute and just work on these, the 4 of us. You can pause. Cindy hit this corner. So as I watch her paddle is open, so I'm already over here to hit that ball. If I wait until after she hits it, then I'm lunging for the ball. Speed is something you can't necessarily teach, but anticipation you can. So if you're anticipating well, you're not going to be in the wrong spot. Find what your strength is, what do you like to do, and then make yourself do that. So if I like forehand dinking middle, I like doing that, I'm going to do that. If I love to go cross, Scott is a really good cross-court dinker, that's where you're going to go next. He loves to just cut this hard right here. Do that then, and tell your partner, this is what our strategy is going to be. Find what your strength is, and don't let the other teams dictate to you, but you dictate to them. Get it set up over and over and over. Until they stop it, then you say to your partner, all right, I'm going to hit one shot there, and then I'm shooting it down the line. So he's ready for it, so he can come cover middle. The more you can communicate with your partner, also, the more intentional dinking you can do. All right, here's the last tip I'm going to say. How are we time-wise?
8:46.
Okay, so still be ready. Even though we're talking about dinking with intention, we're going to have nice long kitchen rallies and you're going to control it. The other team doesn't know that and they're going to be impatient. They're going to swing. Again, hit me a ball, and I want you to go with this one. I'm going to hit you a low dink, but I want you to try to hit me with it. Okay? Hit you with it? Yeah. Swing hard at it. No. You're just dinking me a ball.
I'm just dinking. Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Let's try this again. I'll dink one to you. You dink it back to me, and then I want you to go at it. Go at it. No, I want you to swing hard at it. Like, swing it up too early. Well, that's a really good shot. So I want you to try to hit me right in the chest. Okay. My point is, even though we're dinking with intention, you want to always be ready. Wow, great shot. You want to always be ready for the guy that's going to go early. So I'm still going to dink this low, and I'm going to be ready for it. So that's low. I want you to go it that way. Even though it's a good shot, I still want you to go at it. And that will happen. I want you to even try to hit me in there. I'm right here to block it. Come a little harder at me. So if that ball's low, and so if that person that goes hard takes in, this time you go hard again. Have your paddle. Good. See how he blocked that because he was upright? Then you get right back into your dinking with intention. So if those people want to swing hard, you're going to get it back down on their feet. That was perfect. Exactly what I'm talking about. That was excellent. Hope you got that.
We learned that last week.
You're going to want to swing hard, so you have to have your defense ready, and you get back into your game where you're continuing to dink. All right, we have one last drill I'm going to show you, and then we'll move to the next one. So this is called the 6-shot drill. So you and I will do 1 point. What happens is every hit counts as a shot. So the first 6 shots all have to land in the kitchen. My serve to you is 1. You hit it back to me is 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, and then the 6th shot, it doesn't have to land in the kitchen. We're only playing half court. So we have 5 first shots in the kitchen. You have the first, you don't have to go outside the kitchen, but we're basically playing a kitchen point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can go for it if you want, but you don't have to. So we can still dink in the kitchen, but so basically that 6th shot is where you go for it. Now if I score the point, I serve again. So the score is 1-0. It's just rally scoring. And so you'll play 5 hits, 6-point you can go for it, you don't have to, but this really helps us control our dinking, with that intention we're talking about. So try that for a point or 2. You got your ball, Cindy, and then we'll go on. So let's play a game for 5. All right, 0-0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's a live ball now. You're going to learn on that one.
All right, overhead smash. So on the overhead smash, you have to make sure that you stay behind the ball. The ball always has to be out in front of you. So as it's going over your head, you're never going to smash the ball hard. That's just a rescue saving play. If you're smashing the ball, it's going to be out. So that's key. Move your feet, get behind the ball, wherever you want to put it. When I hit the overhead smash, and because I've played volleyball for 40 years, it's just muscle memory. It's really easy, but you can drill and get your muscle memory up. And so as you hit the ball, what I think of is my thumb. If I want to go to this angle, my thumb goes under. If I want to go down the line, my thumb is more straight. I don't move my thumb. It's just, and if I'm going there, it's like my thumb is on top. So you can think about that sometimes as you're drilling. I wouldn't like thinking the game, okay, I put my thumb under. Obviously, it's just when you're drilling, think about that with your paddle. Okay, and then you don't have to hit the ball hard to score. You just have to hit the angle, hit it where they are, not where they are, and keep your eye on the ball. So as you go up, I mean, you can peripheral see where they're at, and then make sure as you're making contact, you see the ball. That's the key. Keep it out in front and see the ball. Okay? Now we're going to practice. We're just going to lob it. So as you swung,
That one kind of behind me.
you're also going here, and then when you swung, your elbow dropped. That's why the ball went up. So you got to keep your elbow up, hit wrist first. So keep going to that, and then we'll switch. So you're doing this, and then you lose the shoulder rotation that you need when you swing. Good, that's a big backhand. Sorry about that. All right. Good. Nice shot. Elbow was high. Go over and over, and then they're like, well, I know where Molly hits, and I go to the middle. Good. Good. So both arms. Get them both going. Yes. How's that? Did you feel that? Now you can open up and swing. Good movement. Remember, you don't have to hit as hard as you can. We're going to the middle line. Good. I keep my arms always fully extended when I hit.
The game would be good.
So that's why I use a lot of wrist, because I get it as high as I can, so then I have a better angle to put it down. I mean, it is an advantage if you're taller for the overhead, but
Where do you want us to try to hit?
They're going to try to hit backhand lobs now.
the backhand, I would just say.
Backhand overhead, sorry.
It's more of, I would think more of a, you just weren't in position for the kick. So it's more of a get it in.
Like you still get it down, but it's not as good of a forehand.
It's not like a forehand. Some people's backhands are way better, but we'll see. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so on this court we're working on the mid-court reset. So it's that shot where your opponent's already at the kitchen and you're kind of stuck back in the middle area and you're trying to work your way up to the net. And the key with this shot is your mindset needs to be you're at the disadvantage. So you're not on offense when you're back at the midcourt. You're gonna play defense until you get up to the kitchen, then you can play some offense. So you really want to be slowing the point down, not speeding it up when you're not at the net. So you slow it down, don't speed it up. And another thing I see a lot is people are rushing to the net because they want to be at the kitchen, and they run through it and they take the ball behind them. So we really need to, even if we have to hit a couple extra shots back here, set your feet, catch it out in front, hit a nice solid block, just keep it in the kitchen, don't be in a rush. Another thing is, a lot of these shots you're watching the kitchen because you want to see it hit the kitchen. You're not watching the ball, so make sure you're really watching the ball, because these ones I see a lot are those shots you miss hit and you're like, oh, how'd I miss that, when you're in the mid-court because you're focused on so many other things that you forget to watch the ball. So I'll show the drill here. If Cindy, you want to hit with me, we're gonna have one person start at the net and then one person start back. This person will hit like a feeder drop, and you hit one at me, drop it. And the key with these is, even if you hit a bad shot like that, get low and you just keep it over. So if I hit a ball, oh no problem, I got another one. If I hit a ball up, I immediately, take a step back and get set. So if I hit it high, I get low, is what I say with it. But don't take too many steps in at a time, because we're in a game, if you hit a good block, you just want to get up to the net. Here we're going to work all the different spots all the way up to the net. So just take 2 steps in at a time. After every shot, take 2 steps in. Get another good one, 2 steps, block it. And we're just trying to put these balls right in the kitchen. So then once you hit a dink like that, you can just reset it. After you've made it up there and you've hit a dink, that's when we'll reset and you go back to the baseline again. So if we can divide up and go ahead and start doing that drill.
So the person hitting at you is just trying to keep you back. They just keep.
Yeah, you're trying to push that person back, just like if you were in a game. If they were back, you're trying to, keep them there. So,
Okay.
That's what you'll want to do.
All right, in cross-court dinking. So excited to have you here. So the first thing we're going to talk about is consistency. Obviously, the basics in pickleball are to get the ball over. So in cross-court dinking, the first thing you want to master is your ability to get the ball over consistently. Now, before we do that, we're going to talk about how you do that in terms of the way your body posture is and the way you address the ball when you hit it. So in tennis, normally, you cross your feet when you hit the ball, right? Pickleball, you don't do that when you're dinking. You stay down low, and you don't want to cross your feet, all right? You want to side pivot, all right? And the key is that you want to get your feet set prior to contacting the ball. So we're going to talk about this on the second drill, but insofar as you can make it so your opponent doesn't get to get their feet set, they're going to be less consistent in the way they address the ball. But the first thing we're going to do is a very, very basic drill, which is let's get the ball over drill, okay? So you come over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a little competition, a little fun competition. We got 1 ball or 2 balls? I got another one over here. Okay, we're going to have a competition. Eldon and I are going to compete against you two, and we're going to count. We're going to give ourselves 3 tries to see how many times we can get it over. So count how many times. So when I serve, it's 1. Eldon hits it back, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 3 attempts to do that, and the team, you guys are a team, the team that gets it over the most is the winner. And Trudy gives us a new car. This is awesome. Okay? All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, oh, no, you can start again. We are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah, the best you can, 13, 14. So that's one of your times. 15, 17, 19, 20, 21.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
22, so that's 2 of your times. 4, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 4, 5, 6, 78. All right. 79. All right, we got 36. Now, the next thing I want to talk about on consistencies, I'm going to tell you some things that I kind of saw when you're doing it. There's a lot of reaching going on. Footwork. And it's footwork and reaching. You're doing stuff, and I get the fact that we're all getting up in years, and if we bend over too much, we may not get back up. I get that. But if you watch the best dinkers in the game, Simone, Green Car, they are down low, all right? So the closer your eyes can get to your paddle and the ball, typically the better hand-eye coordination you'll have. Because people who like are reaching down here to dink and their head's up here, they're not going to be as consistent, all right? So insofar as you get down closer to the ball, you're going to be a better dinker, all right? So that's something I'm noticing. So footwork, getting your feet in the right position, and your eyes closer to the ball is going to make you a more consistent dinker. All right, so that's just something you want to work on insofar as your body can get down low enough to do that. It's also better exercise. You'll have better leg strength. You'll learn your legs will get more stronger. You'll have more power and more control in your shots. Your control in dinking and in serving and in return serves does not come from your arm, it comes from your legs. It comes from leg strength. So that's just something I want to teach you. Now, the next point I want to go through is really, once you master consistent dinking, you want to start master controlling your dinking, all right, against your opponent in a cross-court dinking. So I'm going to, with Nell, I'm going to show you that in a dink rally that is a cross-court dink rally, there's 4 positions, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And insofar as I can make my opponent do a couple of things, I'm better off. And that is, if I can make them hit while they're moving, while their feet are moving, they're going to be less consistent. If their body position is static and their legs are static, they're going to be much better off. All right. So what I'm going to do when I'm a consistent dinker, and if you're still struggling just getting it over, please just get it over. Don't kind of disregard what I'm going to say. But if you're getting to the point where you're a pretty consistent dinker, start trying to move them and control the dink rally. And what I mean by that is that I might hit Neldon out to a 4 and make him come out here, and then he hits it out here, and when he does that, I'll scoot into my 1 and I'll shorten the court, and I'll maybe try to steal time from him. It's a Dave Weinbach. And what that is if he's out there at a 4, I'll come out here and I've got a long forehand, he's out at a 4, I'm going to take and I'm going to volley that ball to a 1. I'll steal time from him, takes time away from him to get reset to the middle of his center court, and I'm going to be able to make it so he's going to, at a bare minimum, he's going to be chasing that ball. All right? So let's just do that with Neldon for just a second. So I'm going to go a 4. I won't get quite that aggressive, but a 4, and then I'm going to go to a 1. All right, here we go. 4, steal time, I was actually at a 2, I'll go back to a 1, back to a 4, but you can see where Neldon's kind of guessing. He's trying, let me do it a little bit more. I'll start out at a 2 or a 3, and then I'm going to go to a 4. He did a good job. Oh, I'm in the kitchen. And then a 4, steal time. If I hit a good shot, I would have hit a really aggressive 4. But you kind of get the idea. I'm going to steal time from him, and I'm going to move him around and make him do that. At a minimum, what it does is if you move them back and forth, when they come up and have to come upright, they have to recalibrate their muscle memory. When they're staying down here and just repetitively dinking, their muscle memory gets pretty good. They have to come upright, change from a forehand to a backhand. It changes. They have to recalibrate. So let's try to do that a little bit. Okay. So this is a for us people that are a little older. This is an Alzheimer management game. Okay. So it is. It's called the Dingle game, and in a cross-court dinking game, it's where there's 2 balls in play. So he and I will be on a team, and you guys will be on a team. There will be 2 points available for each rally. When the first ball, so you and I will be dinking together, you two will be dinking together. When the first ball goes out, or in the net, then the second ball is wide. And it becomes a full point. You can lob, you can hit it hard, you can hit it to the other players, it becomes a full point.
Out of the kitchen is an out.
Well,
on the first dink.
Let me put it this way. When we're dinking, we're going to be a little liberal. If it's a little bit past the line, we're going to keep dinking. If it's way past, Okay, here we go. We're going to 7. We got 2 balls. We're going to 7. First one to 7. 2 points for each rally. Here we go.
Good, I like this move. That was great. Come back to the middle after you hit that.
All right, dingo. So it's a live point. Okay. So we got 2 points on that one. All right. So it's 2-0. Fresh. What we did. First comment was that we are going to try our very, very best. If you have a drill buddy, the best way to improve your game is to drill. It's not to play rec play. It's not to do that kind of stuff. It's to get a partner out there and drill. So
I got a good partner.
what? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You got a very good partner. Is to drill and try to do it so that you work on consistency. And then what I would suggest is there are some dinking game drills where you can play a little game out of them, where you basically, score points and try to keep it in the kitchen and learn to control those dinking rallies. And that's where you want to work on that 1 to 4, pushing them around, staying low, using good body posture when you're contacting the ball, and using your footwork. Once you notice when you start getting lazy in your footwork, kick yourself in the butt. Have your drill buddy say, "Hey, your footwork's a little lazy. You need to pick it up. You're not bending over enough. Whatever it is." So work on that, and then past that, just have fun with it and enjoy the drill games. Do you guys have any questions about cross-court dinking or any of those things?
It almost seems like when I watch more experienced players, it's just like it's just so beautiful. It's like almost like they're lifting the ball.
It's just almost effortless. It looks like it's so easy.
It's not just ricocheting off the paddle.
Yeah.
It's like they're actually carrying it.
A lot of that has to do with multiple practice, but a lot of that has to do with their footwork. It's their ability to get down low with the ball and footwork to contact the ball right. They make it look easy. They don't look distressed in contacting the ball because they get their position right and they contact the ball right. I mean, there's 2 different ways to dink. You can dink with a cut, where some of the best players do that cut dink. I'm a top spin dinker. I top spin dink. Some people just hit a flat dink. There's no perfectly right way to do it. You want to do it the way that's best for you. The main thing to what you're saying, though, to be honest, if you watch on the internet and don't watch so much their paddle, watch their feet. Watch what they do with their feet, and I'll tell you, their feet and their body posture is low, and their feet are always in the right spot. If they're a good tinker, their feet are in the right spot. They're not coming over here and reaching to dink. Their body's over here. They're doing that.
So you can go second, Scott. You go third, Molly.
All right, we're filming.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for coming out to today's clinic. We have one more clinic for our spring series next week. We want to give a quick review from this week's the Selkirk clinic. From each of the 4 stations that we worked on. In my station today, we did intentional dinking. We talked about first and foremost having your body in the right position, watching the ball, thinking about where your strength is and where your opponent's weakness is, finding a strategy that both you and your partner know what you're going to do, hit that shot, not because you're hitting a winner, but you're setting yourself up because you now have the advantage. You're controlling how the point is being played. So dink with intention, dink with control. Make sure you're not being impatient, but be ready for the other team to be impatient so you can block it back and win the point.
All right, at my station we did the mid-court block. We realized that we're at the disadvantage of the mid-court and we're trying to soften it up, slow it down so that we can get up to the kitchen line and be back to equal with our opponents. So we worked on catching out in front, make sure we're watching the ball, and make sure we're getting our feet set. Another key was if you hit a bad block, you got to get down, bend your knees, keep that one back so you can keep the point going.
On my station, we worked on cross-court dinking, and first principle was dinking with consistency. Making sure you find a drill buddy and learning to drill and drill and drill until you're dinking confidently, consistently. Second step, second principle was to learn to control that cross-court dinking rally by moving your opponent by those 4 positions on that opposite side, where you got them so that they were moving their feet while you were dinking to them. That was 1, 2, 3, and 4 positions. And so they're having to recalibrate their body posture to hit the ball so that you are the one pushing them around. And then also staying low, keeping your eyes closer to the ball, and pushing them around. And then when you had the opportunity, when you were pushing them from a 1 to a 4, to slide in and steal time from your opponent by catching the ball out of the air to basically steal time and block that ball and catch them off guard to where they would not be able to recover and get to the ball. But yeah, consistency and footwork are big elements in that cross-court dinking.
And I did the overhead, and key points for the overhead is to remember to keep the ball out in front of you. Get your body, foot position so you're behind the ball, ball's out in front. Remember, it's not all about power, it is about placement. And as you go up, your elbows up with your other hand to open up your shoulders, and then you have any direction you want to go. If you don't bring your elbow up, then all you have is this. So remember, elbow up, aiming where you want to go, and as you hit, if you want to go that direction, your thumb goes under, straight, thumb straight, over, your thumb comes over the top a little more. So those are some of the key points. And remember, it's not all about power, but placing the ball on the angles.
Great. Thank you today for coming out to the Selkirk Clinic. We have one more next Saturday.